Okay, good afternoon, brother and sister of Dhamma. Today we come to another new lecture, Dhammapada. I think you also have covered in year 1 and year 2. So this one will be a continuation from the previous years. Selected verse has been put to you for your learning and to testing for the coming exam. So please bear with me. I won't go through every verse because it's very time consuming. So I only give to the verse and what to look out for and the translation in English plus the storyline, the moral storyline behind each of these verse. Okay. So hopefully after the end of lesson, there's a website down there listed there. So you can spend your time going through every verse and break down every word and to understand it thoroughly. Okay? Hold on. First one. Dhammapada verse 19. So listen to the chant by my phone so you're able to understand each verse.
Pahum piche sahitang bhasamano natakaroti naropamatto gopov gavo ganayang paresang nabhagava samanyasya hoti.
One more time.
Pahum piche sahitang bhasamano natakaroti naropamatto gopov gavo ganayang paresang nabhagava samanyasya hoti.
Okay, so this verse translated in English is, through he recites amongst the sacred text or what I call the Tipitaka, but he is negligent and does not practice according to the Dhamma. So this person is exactly like a cowherd who counts the cattle of the others. That means look after the herd of cattle for others. But he has no share in the benefits of the life of bhikkhu. That means he only taking care for a token, then he has no benefit, any share with the whatever they reap for this cattle rearing. So he just, as a carefree person, just going through the motion. So this is what this verse 19 say about. So my understanding is that if you want to learn this type of Dhammapada verse, to understand all this, each and every word of this, is very taxing for every one of us. So my way of doing it is recommended by one of my teachers, is to understand the first verse beginning. Bamupiche samhita basamano. Basically, this one, this particular verse is he recites a lot of scripture. I mean, this particular person, he is very well versed in reciting all the Buddhist scriptures. And then you look at the ending of the verse, Paresamna Bhava Samnanasa Hoti. And then this particular verse, you look at it, is to represent is that he does not share the benefit of life of a samana. I mean, he's looking after the cattle, but he does not reap any benefit from any rearing of cattle. That means no profit from rearing the cattle. He just doing the motion of taking care for the particular farmer. So this particular word, parimasam na means not. Bhagawa Samanasa Hoti. That means he does not share the benefit life of a Samana. So that means to say, the storyline is to say, a cowherd is a poor man. He usually does not have his own cows. So his job, he just take others' cow out to the pasture. So he does not have a real profit out of his action. I mean, to his own action of every day feeding all these cow in the pasture, he got reap nothing out of it. In the same sense, I mean, if you represent, say, in the monk, the monk who only talks about Buddha's teaching. I mean, the monk who always talk about all the Buddhist Dhamma, but he does not put them into practice himself. So, in the result, he does not reap the fruit thereof. So, it's just like the cowherd. So, thus, he neglects his own practice, and he will soon hear in a coming verse the negligence of not a good path to take. I mean, if you learn without practice, you get nothing from what you have learned. I mean, learning without practice. This is this particular verse. So, at end result, you get nothing, no fruition of it. So, this is verse 19. So, for you to remember the keywords in front one. I mean, with of scriptures. Bhamumi Samhita Basamano. So, you want to know each of these verses, go to the particular website and then you'll break down every word for you. So, if you can remember this, whenever you see this beginning and the ending of this verse, you can recall what's the verse about. Through he recites much of the scripture text, but is negligent and does not practice according to the Dhamma. It's like a cowherd who counts the cattle of others. He has no share benefits of the life of a bhikkhu. Okay, that means the fruit. So basically, this verse 19 talking about this. So you can remember this, translate, and then give a short story of this, moral of the story. That should be enough. Okay. So we move to the next verse. Verse 24.
Uttanavato satimato suci kammassa nisammakarino sanyatassa ca dhamma jivino appamattassa yaso bivaddati. Uttanavato satimato suci kammassa nisammakarino sanyatassa ca dhamma jivino appamattassa yaso bivaddati.
Okay, verse 24 literally is translated. If a particular person is energetic and mindful, and then he is pure in his thought, word, and deed, if he does everything with care and consideration, and restrain his senses, and earn his living according to the law, that means right livelihood, and is not unhealthful, then the fame and fortune of that mindful person steadily increases. Because I mean to say, if this particular person is energetic and hardworking and is very mindful, and he comes with a pure in thought, word, speech, and thought, and he does everything with care, I mean, does nothing wrong, and restrain his senses and earn his living, I mean, right livelihood, and is not unhealthful, then this particular person, the fame and fortune of that mindful person steadily increase. So, in order to remember the first beginning of the verse, Uttanavato Santimato. This means energetic and mindful or wakeful. So these two will lead you the beginning. A particular person must be energetic and mindful. And then the end of verse, apa tasa yaso biva di hati. Consensus and fame increase or grow. That means his reputation will be known by everyone. No need to people to go and broadcast it. That means a particular person who is very mindful and do all the moral good thing, his kind of character, every person know him will know that this particular person is of this kind. Okay, so remember the starting, energetic and mindful, and then consciousness and fame increase or growth. So this is verse 24. So the moral story is this. So the story states that there was a heir of a rich family. I mean, this particular person born in the rich family named Kubanga Soka. So once the city, Rajagaha, and he lived in the city Rajagaha, and his parents died in the epidemic. I mean, from the disease like COVID-19. And then he alone escaped and lived in the forest for some time. And when he returned, nobody recognized him because many years already, nobody can recognize him. So he did not want to use the family wealth. I mean, he buried this particular wealth in a safe place out of fear that people might think he found it accidentally and reported to the king, and the king might confiscate it. So he found a job. I mean, his job is keeper. So this kind of life is a poor life. But then what happened? The king ever saw him. So the king saw him once and recognized that his voice and manners are of a man of great wealth. I mean, this particular young man is not of a poor family, but the king knew that he is from a noble family. He then sent his maid to investigate. At the end, he summoned this Gomba Gosaka to the court, to the king there. And there the young man told him the story, and the king made him a banker and give the daughter in marriage to him. So from this, was a night, waking morning guy, now become a rich banker. So when the Buddha heard about this story, he spoke about this verse. So this is how it come about. If one always acts properly with energy and mindfulness, applies self-control and consideration, is always consensus. I mean, of a good kind of character. His good reputation or repute will increase because people will know that he is a man of honor and they can trust him. And then they will report this to the others who will then come to see for themselves. And again, telling each other people about this. So this kind of person will be broadcast to the whole nation. So the good word will spread around and everybody will trust such a person. Okay? So basically, you no need to write the whole long story. You just write to the kind of words understandable by everybody will be sufficient enough. So this is a story of a well-conducted man. So his reputation will be known far and wide. Okay, so we go to the next verse. Verse 35.
තුන්නිකහස්සලහුනෝ යත්තකාමනිපාතිනු චිත්තස්ස දමතෝ සාධු චිත්තං දන්තං සුඛාවහං.
One more time.
තුන්නිකහස්සලහුනෝ යත්තකාමනිපාතිනු චිත්තස්ස දමතෝ සාධු චිත්තං දන්තං සුඛාවහං.
Okay, so literally this verse said the mind, our mind, is difficult to control. It moves swiftly and lightly, and it moves and lands whatever it pleases. So this mind can wander far and wide. So it is good to tame the mind, for a well-tamed mind brings happiness. I mean, to be mindful. So the mind is very difficult to control. So every human being is the same. Then it moves very fast, and it land whatever it pleases. So important is to learn how to tame the mind. So that is the importance of this verse. So how to remember? Remember this keyword. Yatta kamani panino. That means it's moving about whenever it pleases and landing on any sense object without any control. That means this verse, this particular word, yatta kamani panino, means it moves as what it like. The mind is of this behavior. So another word to remember, the ending one is sukha vaham. I mean, this one will bring you happiness. I mean, all the goodness, fortune and satisfaction. So basically, is that this mind is very hard to control, and if you're able to tame it, it will bring you happiness. So there's a story behind this verse 35. Okay, what happened? 60 monks received their meditation subject from the Buddha. Every time when the monk go for meditation, they will take a meditation object from Buddha. So Buddha has able to see which kind of meditation subject suitable for each of these monks. So they went to a village called Matika. And there the mother of this village head man called Matikamata built a monastery for them and give them alms food regularly. So this monk, they decided to spend the raining retreat there, and she asked this particular mother, they asked the monk to teach her some Dhamma. So this monk taught her the 32 body parts. We're going to study this later on. And awareness of the body decay. I mean, the human body, it will come to a time, even at every constant moment, this cell is dying. So when it comes to expire your body, when you are dead, the body will start decaying. So this particular lady, she practiced diligently and attained the third jhana, last but one state of awakenment. So she also attained some supernatural powers. She was able to read other people's minds. So she has this capability, can penetrate to other people's mind. So she used this power and saw that the 60 monks and found that all of them have not so far attained anything. Instead, she's the one that attained. So she saw, and they had a potential of arahantship. So you can see that these are potential towards arahantship, but they needed proper food. So she gave them alms food and better alms food, and soon they all become arahants. So the story is like that. So at the end of retreat, all these monks went back to Buddha and reported what happened. Then a particular monk, a certain monk, overheard, decided to go to the same village. And Mati Kamata personally came to the monastery and gave him alms and food. So he asked her about her supernatural powers. But this lady evaded the subject, and this particular monk, because he overheard it, then he now got scared, and she will see his impure mind and quickly left the village. So this monk, honest to himself, he told the Buddha about his fears, but Buddha sent him back again, telling him to control his mind. Under all circumstances, So this particular monk went back thinking only about his meditation subject. So Mati Kamata make sure that he had enough alms food, and the monk soon attained arahantship too. So this is to tell you the importance of meditation. I mean the object of meditation, you have to concentrate mindfully on it. So this is a story about this. Okay. So verse 35, if you can remember the translation, and with this quote, you should able to get a full mark. So we go to the next verse, the 54. Hold on.
Napuppagandho pativatameti na chandanang tagara mallikava satancha gandho pativatameti sappati sasa puriso pavati.
One more time.
Napuppagandho pativatameti na chandanang tagara mallikava satancha gandho pativatameti sappati sasa puriso pavati.
Okay. So basically, this verse, the 43 translated, it said, the scent of the flowers, I mean the smell of the flowers, cannot go against the wind. You know, it blow against the wind. In no way can you flow through the wind. Nor this particular scent of sandalwood, the one we make for incense, nor of rhododendron. This is a kind of flower. They call it tagara. Nor of jasmine. Jasmine, the Pali word is called malika. So all these flower, the smell cannot go against the wind. So what can go against the wind? So the reputation of good people can go against the wind. I mean, only the reputation of good people, the morality of these good people can go against the wind. So the reputation of the virtuous ones, Saripurisa, is wafted abroad in all direction. I mean, if you are well-mannered, well-disciplined person, your kind of reputation can spread far and wide in every direction. Okay, so basically, how are you going to remember all these particular verse? So for me, you take the beginning of verse. Na means no. Pugado pativa temiti. That means the scent of the flower against the wind. So the smell of the flower against the wind, there's no way you can penetrate through. So, and then the ending of the verse, sa puriso pavati. So this one represent good and pure person to prevail. That means those with very good reputation will be known far and wide. So Sari Puriso means people. Parvati means good. Okay. So it's a way I'm trying to help you to remember, because too many, you have to, if you want to later on to a website, you can understand each and every word of this verse. So basically, for all my this taught by my previous teacher also, is to remember the starting and then the ending. So if you can recall this every day, then literally you can translate it to the whole English sentence. The scent of the flowers cannot go against the wind, nor the scent of the sandalwood, nor of the rhododendron. Tagara. Then this is a flower. These are all the flower name. Nor of jasmine, Malika. These are 3 flowers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only the reputation of good people can go against the wind. The smell, gando is the smell, against the wind, and the reputation of virtuous one is wafted about in all directions. So basically, verse 54 is like this. So the moral of the story, you need to know. It said that whenever Ananda was once sitting in the meditation, and he was pondering on the problem of sin. So all known sin, whether perfume, flower, roots, etc., and many more, go only with the wind. So no sin can go against the wind. So all this flower, the smell, when the wind comes blowing, it can only go flow with the wind, but cannot go against the wind. So is there any sin, I mean the smell, at all that can go against the wind? I mean, he asked, is there anything that can go against the wind? So he pondered and he asked the Buddha about it. And then Buddha said that there exists such a thing. What's the thing? A person who takes the refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, observe the moral precept, and is generous and is really worthy of praise. So the sin, or the reputation of such a person, spread far and wide with the wind and against it. So even the wind blowing, it still can penetrate through. So such a person is famous everywhere, and people praise him. So basically, you need to understand this storyline, something around this. You present it, then you're able to say the moral story of this verse 54. Okay, so we move to the next verse. Verse 56. One more time. Okay, so basically verse 56 is translated as the saints of rhododendron and of sandalwood. I mean, this particular kind of flower and of sandalwood are very faint. The smell, they are very, not really kind of can go far away. But the sin, I mean, called reputation of the virtues is the strongest, and is spread even to the abodes of the Deva. Okay, I mean, flower sin is also kind of distant, but the reputation of a good man can even spread to the gods. So basically, remember this one, Apan Manto Ayam Gando. Gando is smell. Apanando means faint. So Apanando Ayam Gando. I mean, this faint smell. I mean, the smell of the flower is of this kind of distant. So when you see the last verse, Avati Devesu. Devesu means Deva Rama. So as long as you remember this Deva, remember it's in the gods there. Utamo, I mean, blow among all the gods. So basically, Vati Devesu Utamo means blow among the gods. So this kind of how to remember all this, we got so many to remember. So this is one way of remembering. Knowing the beginning, this faint smell, and then Vati Devesu Utamo, blow amongst the gods. So if you want to know each and every word of this, end of this slide, there's a website for you to visit. And then that website gave you a thorough understanding of each sentence, each suffix also, and prefix. Okay, so you can go on later and then digest yourself. I got no time really to cover each and every word. If no, I can never finish the syllabus. Sorry about that. Please do your part. So we come to the moral of the story. Moral story is that one of Buddha's chief disciples, Venerable Kassapa, one of the famous one, he went to the city of Rajagaha for alms food. He wanted some poor man opportunity to give him food and thus obtain merit. So as you know, giving food to a monk, especially a pious monk, that means highly disciplined monk, you gain a lot of merits by giving alms to him. So this Kassapa was preparing to do that. But King Saka, the king of the gods, he saw and thus he assumed the form of an old poor weaver, and together with his wife Sujata came to Rajagaha. So this Saka king seized the opportunity and appeared before Venerable Kassapa, stood at their door, and Saka filled the bowl with delicious rice and curry. So Kassapa thought that this cannot be a poor man. It serves you all this kind of good food. So how could such a person afford so delicious food? So as you know, Kassapa is also Arahant state. So he then realized that this man and his wife actually is Saka and his wife Sujata. And then he questioned them, and they admitted this fact and told Kassapa they were too very poor. Even the Brahma, just see the Brahma king, even that he is of poor because he got nobody to serve to get his merits. So he got appear as a human in order to do that. So they did not have enough opportunity to give alms and thus did not accumulate any merits. So even those heavenly realms, you can be happy down there. But once your time is used up, gone, you come back to earth, whatever state you are. So the monk asked the Buddha, how Saka knew Kassapa has such a virtuous person that any alms given to him will reap great meritorious reward. So the Buddha answered to all the monks by using this verse, telling them that the fame of Kassapa, virtue, reached even amongst the gods. So among the gods, they only knew this Kassapa is of what kind of standard. So everyone wants the opportunity to give alms to him. So basically, with verse 56, you can quote out this story, will be sufficient for you. No need to be long-winded. Straight to the point, we're able to convince the marker. Verse 62. So this one, literally the English translation is using the Queen English. The fool's worries. I have wealth. He does not even own himself, when sons and wealth. Another you can say is this translation. I have son, I have wealth. With this means you have feeling of having son and this wealth, then attachment. This is what a fool is affiliated. So he said, indeed, he himself is not his own. How can sons and wealth be his? I mean to say, even he himself, he does not own himself. So what can you say about the son and wealth? He having it. Okay. So this one is of Queen English translation. If you can find a better one, then you can use it. That means I have son, I have wealth. With this, that means all these two things are called attachment. The fool is affiliated. So if you think of this, you'll be attached with these two things. So indeed, if you defect on it, he himself is not his own. So even you yourself, you're staying in a temporary body. How can you say about your son and wealth to belong to him? Okay? So literally means this. Okay, if you can find a better translation, by all means use it. This is a Queen English translation. So the storyline behind this. In the city of Savatthi, there once lived a rich but a stingy man. So he was extremely wealthy, but give anything away in charity. Before he died, so he buried 5 pots of gold in the garden, but he did not tell his son about it. So this particular stingy man, he buried all his wealth under the ground without telling anybody. Because of this, he was born again in the village of beggars, close to Savatthi. Since the time his mother became pregnant with him, the income of beggars decreased dramatically. I mean, after he was born, the beggars' income are getting less. So they decided that this boy must be unauspicious, unlucky. So they dropped the mother and the son out from the village. So they begged on themselves. So whenever the mother, she went begging by herself, she could get as much as before. But when she took this boy with him, his own son, she got nothing. So when the boy grew up, his mother sent him out alone to beg. So this particular young man, so he wandered about in Savatthi and then enter his old house, the one he passed away in his previous life. So his former son were frightened by him and ordered him to be thrown out of the house. So the Buddha happened to see this incident and he told him that the young beggar was nobody else but his own dead father. The son did not believe it. So the Buddha ordered the boy to reveal where he buried his gold. Only then did the son accept the truth and became a disciple of the Buddha. So basically, he's talking about stingy men. So is this verse 62. So we come to the next one. Verse 63. So basically to translate, The fool who knows that he is a fool, and for that reason, he's a wise man. But the fool thinks that he is wise. Indeed, is called a fool. So basically, if you are a fool, you realize that you are a fool, then you are considered a wise man. But you are a fool, you think you are wise, then you are really a fool. So basically, when you see at the first verse, ya balo manati, I mean, to know that he's a fool. Balo is fool. So ya balo manati is to know he's a fool. So ending of it, balo ti wuchachati. I mean, it's like a fool. Balo ti is fool. So wuchati is like a fool. Okay. So basically, to remember this starting, ending, you should be able to translate the whole thing. So the storyline behind this is a group of Buddha's followers once went to a monastery to hear the Dhamma. So as you are listening to Dhamma, two thieves joined them. One of them was busy stealing from the devotees. So he did not pay any attention to what the Buddha was saying. But the other one listened, and soon he understood the Dhamma and stopped stealing. He realized it is wrong. So when they returned home, the first thief laughed at the second one. You are so stupid. You did not bring back anything. I'm very wise because I stole a lot of things. So the other thief then went back to the Buddha and told him what happened. And Buddha explained this verse to this, that the fool who knows that he's a fool is indeed a wise one, at least to that extent. Whereas the fool who thinks that he's wise cannot truly be called a fool. Okay? So I mean, this particular thief is so kind of understood the Dhamma, know what is wrong, so he stopped from doing wrong, and then he's considered as a wise man. Okay, so this is 63. So I come to verse 76. Okay, so basically you translate this is, should one see an intelligent person who speak remarkably, who can see the faults as if showing the treasure. So if somebody are able to point the fault of himself and see what is wrong, one should associate with such a wise one. So associating with such a person is better and not worse. It's better to say when you are friend with somebody who is a wise man, then basically you should be of his kind of character. You won't worse than him. So basically, to know how to translate it, you see at the first verse, Lini Nama Va Bhavataram. This one means treasure, shows treasure. This one, treasure, show treasure. So basically, when you know the first one, then next one, na papillo, not worse. Na is not, so papillo means worse. So not worse. So basically, this one, the storyline is like this. So a poor man named Radha was staying at the monastery doing manual work, like sweeping, cutting grass, etc. And this particular man, he wanted to become a monk, but elders were not willing to admit him. I mean, all the elderly monks wouldn't want him to be one of them. So one day, the Buddha saw Radha and had the potential to become an arahant. This Buddha has this particular eye to spot who are the qualified one. So he called the monks and asked them if any of them recollects good deed done by Radha. Only this Venerable Sariputta said that Radha once offered him some rice. The Buddha then asked if it wasn't proper to repay this kindness by accepting the man into the order and show him the way out of suffering. So Radha became a monk under the tutorship of this Venerable Sariputta. So this particular monk, he strictly followed Sariputta guidance, and in a very short time, he attained arahantship. So when the Buddha heard about this, he explained by this verse that a monk should always be attentive to guidance by his betters and not resent rebuffs for his fault. So basically, is that don't always look at the best side. So if this particular person is of this quality, he should be able to attain arahantship too. Okay, through proper guidance. Verse 80. Okay, basically translate is irrigators, those that do farmers lead the water, then arrow makers bend the arrow shaft, I mean the bow, and then carpenters bend the wood, and the wise one master themselves. I mean, each as his own profession. Okay, first verse, Udang kam nihi nayanti nitika. Irrigator lead the water. Okay. When check each word, when you go to the particular website, you break down every word of it. Then Atanam Dhammati Pandita. Pandita means wise man. So wise one master own self. So basically, to say irrigators lead the water, arrows makers bend the call arrow shaft or what you call the bow, and then carpenters bend the wood. The wise one master themselves. So basically, this verse is like this. So the moral line of this story, verse 80, is that Venerable Sariputta once had a very young novice. So the 8th day after becoming a novice, he was with Sariputta on the arms round. So this particular young monk, he observed that irrigators irrigating the fields, and then arrow maker making the arrows, and the carpenters working with the wood. He asked Venerable Sariputta, if those things which have no mind could be guided to whatever one wishes, Sariputta replied that it is so, and the young novice then thought, if those things which have no mind could be guided to whatever one wishes, then why could not I master myself? Because after observing these three things, the young novice said, if you can ban anything with those things we have no mind, able to do that, then the same thing can apply to me. There, he then asked permission from Sariputta to return to the monastery and diligent practice. Very soon, he attained the third state of awakening and was very close to attaining full arahantship. Then Sariputta returned and was going towards the novice hut. The Buddha saw this and also saw that the novice was just about to attain the goal. So he met Sariputta outside and prevent him from going to the novice hut by asking him various questions. Then the novice indeed attained arahantship very soon, and the Buddha explained that the reason why he kept Sariputta outside was to enable the young novice to attain his goal without being interrupted. I mean, if you set your mind to what you want, you can attain it. Because this young monk saw the three things and he able to reflect on himself and he completed the task. So same thing applies, a good lesson for us. Whatever you want, you have to focus thoroughly on it and sure you can make it. Okay, don't just give up. Okay, so this is a good moral lesson for each and every one of us. Don't give up easily. We can make it. Okay, just be mindfully and focused. We can do it. Okay, so we go to the next verse. Okay, verse 94. Okay, verse 94 literally translates, the Arahat whose sense faculty are calm like horses. I mean, all the five faculties are well tamed by the chariot, who is free from pride and moral intoxicant. Such an Arahat is held dear even by the Devas. So how to remember? So beginning of Yasi Rinayani Asamata Gatani. I mean, these two words means whose senses are calm. Okay. So when you remember this, whose senses are calm, and then the ending one, Anasavasa Devapi. This is talking about gods. Tasa Piyanti Tadino. And gods envy such qualities. Okay. So remember this starting and ending, you should able to remember the whole verse. The Arahat whose sense faculties are calm like horses, well tamed by the chariot, who is free from pride and moral intoxicant, such an Arahat is held dear even by the Devas. Okay, basically it's like this. So the storyline is like this. One day, Saka, the chief of the gods, came to the monastery to pay homage to Buddha. Venerable Mahakachayana was not in the monastery at that time, and a seat was held prepared for him. And Saka with the gods pay homage to the Buddha, and then he declared his wish that Kaccayana should also be present so that he could pay homage also to him. At that moment, Kaccayana arrived. Saka was very happy and paid his respect to him. Then some monks became accused that Saka of favoritism. But our Buddha said this verse, saying that who is restrained in the senses, even gods envy him, is calm and respect him enormously. I mean, the person with highly disciplined moral one, that kind of arahantship standard, even the gods still respect him. Okay, basically, is to tell you have to calm your faculties like the horses. Okay, so basically, this particular verse 94 say about this. So we go to the next one. Verse 99. Okay, so verse 99, literally translated as delightful are the forests. The forest is very nice, where the crown doesn't find delight. And most people, crown means people, who will not find any goodness in the forest. So those free of passion will find delight there. They are not seeking pleasure. I mean, the forest is a nice place, but most people will not find anything good about that. And those people who are free from passion will only like the forest. They are not seeking for pleasure. So, Ramayani Aranti Yatta. I mean, where delightful forest. Right? So basically, this is telling about this particular delightful forest. And then Nate Kamagavinsino. So this basically is not seeking for pleasure. Right? So basically, if you want to remember for exam, remember the first starting and then ending. Then you should be able to quote the whole stanza. So the moral story about this is that a certain monk received the subject of meditation from the Buddha and went to an old garden at the outskirts of the city. Some lascivious woman, I mean those very loose women, this particular woman came into the garden. As there was nobody else around, she tried to seduce the monk. She unloosened her hair, began to undress and laugh. The monk became very excited and upset. He did not know what to do. So at this moment, Buddha from his foresight, the Buddha saw this from afar and told the monk this verse, saying that in seeking passion, there's no delight. I mean, there's no delight in finding pleasure. Only after freeing oneself from the passion, I mean, freeing from the things of sense restraint, can one enjoy whatever place one is at. So the monk get a message. The monk did not care about the woman and anymore and attain arahantship quickly. That means with pure mind, you can achieve whatever you target for. So this is to say a woman tried to seduce the monk, but the monk was, with the help of Buddha, able to calm his mind, and then able to attain arahantship. Okay, so it's verse 99. Next one, verse 100. Okay, basically, to translate this verse 100 is better than 1,000 words that are senseless and unconnected with realization of the Dhamma. I mean, to realize the Dhamma, no need to say 1,000 words. Is a single word, when you use a single word of sense, if not on theory, one is calm. Because you can tell thousand words, but you still cannot realize the Dhamma. But with single word of sense, you can attain it and calm it. So better than 1,000 words that are senseless and unconnected with realization of the Dhamma is a single word of sense. If on hearing, one is calm. So when hear this particular word, one is calm down. So to understand how to translate it, saha sampati cha vacha. I mean, this one means even 1,000 words vacha means spoken. So you all should able to know by now. So even 1,000 words. So saha sampati cha vacha. I mean even 1,000 words spoken. So remember, then ending the verse, sutva upasamanti. So after hearing, you will come down. Sutva upasamanti. After hearing, you can come down. So the moral story of this is, once there was a former public executioner named Dhammapada. He's one that slaughtered people, executioner. So once he went for a bath to the river and took some food with him. Just as he was leaving the house, Venerable Sariputta stopped by his door on his way for alms food. So Dhammapada offered him this food. So after the meal, Sariputta taught him the Dhamma. But this executioner, Dhammapada, mind was not peaceful because he was disturbed and feeling remorse recollecting his past work. That means his job. So this does not allow him to pay attention to the Dhamma. So our Sariputta asked him if he killed those people because he wanted to, out of hate or anger, or just an order. So Dhammapada replied that he was ordered to kill them by the king and personally did not feel hate towards them. So Sariputta reassured him that he did nothing wrong. Dhammapada then calmed down and listened to Dhamma attentively, and then he accompanied Sariputta on the way back to the monastery. But strange thing happened. But on the way back home, he was died due to an accident. So unfortunate thing happened to him. So Buddha was told about this and remarked that Dhammapada was reborn into Sita heaven. Wow, the monk, he killed people, still can born down there. So monk wonder how it was possible for someone who killed so many people in the life to be reborn there. So Buddha told them by this verse that just one meaningful sentence that helped his mind to calm down and concentrate on the Dhamma, helped him to achieve the goal. For if one dies with a peaceful mind, one's rebirth is good. And if at the time of death, our mind is confused or angry, we face a bad rebirth. Okay? Just one word, it can calm you. So this one applies to ourselves also. And when you see relative, friends, or whoever who are struggling with death towards the end of his life, sometimes you can see those invisible beings come upon him, his past relative come upon him, all this. So he's trying to get away and was confused. So this type of people, if you got a chance, do a marriage by inviting the monk to come and approach them, so that these people has a good way of dying. I mean, die peacefully and calm. Hopefully, he can reborn in a better rebirth. If you let him be struggling with this, definitely he'll be born in a bad state, not in a woeful realm or in some other realm, which will make him very miserable the next existence. So this is also a good model application for us. If help you came upon, please render help to help these people to have a better rebirth. Okay, so this is Dhammapada 100 is also something for us to learn. Okay, next one. So literally translate is that it is better to conquer oneself than to conquer other people. Of a person who tame himself, who is always acting with self-control. Right? So it's best to control yourself rather to control somebody else. So if you control yourself, you're a much better person. So verse 104, Atta jitam, indeed conquer oneself. Okay? Atta is oneself. So indeed conquer oneself. Then posava nicham sandarikno. So it means the person who tame himself. Okay? So basically, this verse 104 is talking about this, to tame oneself. So the storyline is that a certain Brahmins once approached the Buddha and told him, Venerable Sir, although you know all the beneficial practices, still I think you do not know the unbeneficial practices. So our Buddha told him that he knew both the beneficial and unbeneficial practices. He then proceeded to enumerate the 6 unbeneficial practices that will cause loss of wealth. They are sleeping until sunrise, idleness, laziness, cruelty, indulgence in intoxicating drinks that cause negligence, and unclear mind, wandering alone in the city during the night hours, and sexual misconduct. So these are spoken in one of the sutta. I remember some last month we're talking about social sutta. Then the Buddha asked the Brahmin how he makes his living. The Brahmin told him that he earned his living by gambling, by playing dice. The Buddha further asked him if he won or lost. The Brahmin replied that sometimes he won and sometimes he lost. Then the Buddha told him that to win in a game of dice couldn't it be compared with winning over one's mind, over one's ignorance and mental defilements. So Buddha explained to him, in the game of gambling, you have no chance of confident of winning every time. So it's better to win one own personal mind over the other thing which is of insignificant value. So basically is to tell you to control yourself, discipline yourself, and able to contain your all the five senses. Okay, so this is verse 104. This is 105, the following one. So basically translated as neither a Deva nor a Gandhava nor Mara together with Brahma can turn into defeat the victory of man who control himself. I mean, not a god or a Gandhava nor a Mara. Mara is the bad guy. Together with the Brahma. Brahma is a Vedic god. Can turn into defeat the victory of a man who control himself. I mean, he who has possessed all the morality, he cannot be conquered by anyone. So Neva Davo Na Gandhavo. Not a god or Gandhava. I can't remember Gandhava. Can you for chance go and check the dictionary? Gandhava means something else. I can't remember. Here he never give a translate. It's still put as Gandhava. So Devo, you also know a god. Gandhava. I go and find out some other time. Gandhava, and then Jitam Akariya Tata Rupasa Jantuno. Such a person. So basically the story line is that the final victory of the highest battle with the mind is the attainment of arahantship. When we achieve this victory, nothing in the world can undo it. Nobody can defeat us in anymore. No gods, not even Mara the evil. One can do anything. We reach the deliverance and are free from the cycle of rebirth, from suffering and pain. Okay? I mean, if you can achieve by Nibbana, nobody can stop you. Okay? I mean, all. So basically, it's translated this way. And then the storyline is to attain arahantship. Okay? So this is verse 105. So as the text here said, it's better indeed to conquer oneself than to conquer others. Neither a Deva nor Gandhava, I think they don't have a word for it, nor Mara, together with Brahma, can turn into defeat the victory of man who controls himself. So basically 104, 105 is about this kind of morality. So anything one more? 129. Okay, so Verse 1 to 9 literally translate as everyone trembles at punishment. Everybody feels dead. Having made the comparison with oneself, let one not to kill, nor cause another to kill. Basically, this teaching is about no killing. Okay. So every one of us trembles at punishment, right? And every one of us will feel dead, right? Who want to be first one? So having made the comparison with oneself, let one not to kill, nor cause another to kill. So basically like that. So sabe tasa dandasa, all fear punishment. Okay? All fear punishment, dandasa. Then the ending one, Haneyana gatawe, means let one not kill nor cause another to kill. So you cannot perform the killing nor ask somebody to kill on behalf. Okay, so everybody feel dead. So the storyline about this is that one group of monks was clearing a certain building in Jetavana monastery. So they intended to stay there where they were in the middle of cleaning. So another group of monks arrived there and wanted them to give the building over to them. So they felt that as they were the more senior monk, they should have the right to choose. But the first group did not agree to that and insist on keeping the building to themselves. And the monks from the second group then beat them up until the monks cry in pain. So when the Buddha heard about this, he admonished the second group of monks harshly for inflicting pain on their fellow monks. He told them this verse, saying that violence is not a solution. He, moreover, laid down a new rule for the monks to abstain from hurting others. So this is one of the Vinaya rules that was laid when this incident happened. So basically, our Buddhists, we practice not to hurt anybody. The only religion in this world is only Buddhist. In the name of religion, we should not kill anybody. Like now in the Middle East, you kill me, I kill you, no end one. Right? So our Buddhist teaching is that not to kill anybody. So basically, Dhamma verse 129, remember this with the storyline, you should be safe for yourself. Okay, so all these verses, I would recommend you all to go to this particular website, and then if you got all the time, go and break down to every verse and understand it. Okay, for those who are preparing exam, you need to remember all these verses. So please remember a shortcut, and then how to translate it, and also the storyline, the short storyline behind it. All right. So this website that give you total explanation. I found it after some time. So please go and help on to yourself. As for your sister requesting for the chanting of this, I will send it to her. It's on the Android phone there, or Apple, they also have. So you go and download this app and then you play whatever you want. All right. So this one and Dhammapada. We come to the next one. Hopefully, not push you until the limit. So